In section 4.5, we talk about systems of linear inequalities. So in section 3.7, we solved linear inequalities in two variables, as well as their union and intersection. Just as two or more linear equations make a system of linear equations, two or more linear inequalities make a system of linear inequalities. A solution of a system of linear inequalities is an ordered pair that satisfies each inequality in the system. The set of all such ordered pairs is the solution set of the system. So to solve these, we are going to graph each inequality in the system on the same set of axes. The solutions of the system are the points common to the graphs of all the inequalities in the system. So it's like the intersection. So let's go ahead and look at the first example. I am going to label my inequalities. So looking at the inequality for the first one, we have 3x is greater than or equal to y. I am just going to flip this, and when I flip the sides, I have to make sure that I flip the sign. And so my slope equals 3 over 1, which means that I'm going to go up 3 units and to the right 1, or I'm going to go down 3 units and to the left 1 unit. My y-intercept is the point 0, 0. Because I have the bar underneath the inequality symbol, this is going to be a solid line. And because it is less than, that means I'm going to shade below. So let's go ahead and plot this one. Our y-intercept is at the origin, and we have a slope of 3. This is a solid line. And we want to shade below. And so I'm just going to use arrows to indicate where I want to shade. Now let's look at the second inequality. We've got x plus 2y is less than or equal to 8. So I want to put this into slope-intercept form. I'm going to subtract x from both sides. And so it ends up canceling on the left. And we get 2y is less than or equal to negative x plus 8. And the last step is to divide by 2. And so it cancels on the left. And we end up with y is less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 4. And so my slope is negative 1/2, which means I'm going to go down 1 unit and to the right 2, or I am going to go up a unit and to the left 2. My y-intercept is the point 0, 4. We are going to have another solid line. And this time y again is less than, which means I'm going to shade below. So plotting my points here, I got my y-intercept at 0, 4, and my slope is negative 1/2. And so we just want to connect it with a solid line. And we are shading below. And so we want to shade where the arrows are pointing towards. So this region in the bottom right-hand corner where the pink arrow and the blue arrows are pointing towards is where my solution set is going to be. Let's try one with 3 equations. We have x minus y is less than 2. We've got x plus 2y is greater than negative 1. And we have y is less than 2. And so I am going to look at equation number 3 first. Y is less than 2. This is a horizontal line, since it only has y involved. It's going to be dotted, and we are going to shade below. And so let's go ahead and just plot that one first because it's easy enough. And we're shading below the line. Let's look at equation number 1. We've got x minus y is less than 2. So putting this into slope-intercept form, we're going to subtract x from both sides. So it cancels on the left, and we have negative y is less than negative x plus 2. And then we can divide both sides by negative 1. But when I divide by negative 1, then I need to make sure that I flip the sign. So we end up with y is now greater than x minus 2. My slope is 1 over 1, which means I'm going to go up 1 unit into the right one, or we can go down a unit into the left one. And my y-intercept is the point 0, negative 2. This is also going to be a dotted line, but we're going to shade above because its y is greater than. So let's go ahead and plot this one. Our y-intercept is 0, negative 2, and we have a slope of 1 over 1. And so this is a dotted line. And we are shading above. And we've got one more equation to look at. Equation number 2, x plus 2y is greater than negative 1. We want to put this into slope-intercept form, so let's go ahead and subtract x from both sides. So we get 2y is greater than negative x minus 1. And then we can divide everything by 2. And we end up with y is greater than negative 1/2 x minus 1/2. And so my slope is negative 1/2, which means I can go down 1 and to the right 2, or I can go up 1 and to the left 2. And my y-intercept is the point 0, negative 1/2. This is a dotted line. And we are going to shade above. So let's go ahead and plot this one. We have our our y-intercept at 0, negative 1/2. Then we have a slope of negative 1/2. So down 1 and over 2. This is a dotted line. And we are going to shade above. And so what we want to do is we want to see where all of the arrows are pointing into, which common section. And so it's actually going to be this little triangle that's right in the middle. And we've got one more. This time we've got 4 different equations. So let's start with number 2. X is less than or equal to 3. This is a vertical line. It's solid. And we're going to shade to the left. So let's go ahead and draw that one. Now let's look at equation number 3. X is greater than or equal to 0. Well, that's a vertical line, and it's also solid, but we're going to shade to the right. The fourth equation is y is greater than or equal to 0. This is a horizontal line that's solid, and we are going to shade above. And the last equation we got to fix up a little bit. We've got negative 3x plus 4y is less than or equal to 12. So let's go ahead and put this into slope-intercept form. We're going to add 3x to both sides. So it cancels on the left, and we end up with 4y is less than or equal to 3x plus 12. And the last thing we can do is divide everything by 4. And so we end up with y is less than or equal to 3/4 x plus 3. my slope is 3 over 4. And so that means that I can go up 3 units into the right 4 units, or we can go down 3 into the left 4. And my y-intercept is the point 0.03. This is a solid line, and we are going to shade below. And so let's go ahead and plot this last line here. We have our y-intercept at 0.3, and our slope is 3 over 4. And so we have a solid line. And we're shading below. And so the area that all of my arrows are pointing in towards is going to be this little weirdly shaped area in the middle.